Hi folks, Nathaniel here at Chicago Music Exchange. So here at CME we are very excited to be partnering with the Gift of Music Foundation down in Atlanta on a very special project. The Gift of Music Foundation is a non-profit organisation whose goal is to create greater and easier access for kids to musical instruments and music programs. And to fund the organisation they rely on monetary or instrument donations from all of you kind folks out there. So they recently received an incredibly generous donation of 54 instruments and amps, and they have asked us here at CME to help sell them in order to raise awareness and money for this great cause.
We are a nonprofit 501c3, and what we do is we provide access to instruments to those in need and also music education.
Started 7 years ago by two gentlemen, Chris Monroe and Scott Kiefer, who saw a need to provide access to instruments that were of quality for beginning band programs primarily. But as band budgets were being slashed all around the area, they wanted to fill the void and make sure that instruments that were being neglected or even discarded saw a new life.
It started with just giving instruments and getting donations and then giving them away. No fixing, nothing in the process. And then they realized really quickly that that can be difficult and it takes a lot more. And so it started in a tiny little office, and then from there it grew.
The instrument rental program is the primary focus. Most of the money we're able to generate, the revenue we're able to generate, goes to supporting that. And that's all funded by the kindness and generosity of the people who donate things to the Gift of Music Foundation. And the donations come in every shape, size, and form.
I got an email from a gentleman. He had a collection of instruments, and he just started collecting them over several years, probably 2 to 3 years. And he emailed me and said, "Hey, I have around 50 guitars, valued between $5,000 and $15,000 a piece." And we jumped on it.
So there was an Excel spreadsheet sent to me that had, I think, about 30 of them listed on the list. And I happen to be friends with Coy Bowles, who's in the Zach Brown band. We go way back to my days when I used to teach. I was a professor at Georgia State University, and Coy happened to take one of my classes. So I've known him for a long time, in fact, even before he joined the band. Tyler told me that we had this collection coming in. Did I know anybody that knew anything about vintage and classic and awesome guitars? Bing! And the first person I thought of wasn't available, but then I thought and then I thought of Coy. No, first person I thought of was Coy, because I know you've got some pretty killer guitars and have played some legendary guitars. I think the Dwayne Allman's guitar, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I got to play Dwayne Allman's Gold Top.
Yeah. So that stuck in my craw. Like, oh man, this guy would know what we're dealing with. So I texted Coy and said, "We've got these guitars coming in, and would like you to take a look at them, maybe appraise them, or at least let us know, if they're anything at all." And
I was like, I think I know some guys.
Yeah,
I think I know some guys that could probably help you out.
It was so funny. Like, you texted right back and said, "Well, I'm here on the beach with my friend Andrew Yonke, who owns the Chicago Music Exchange." Like, wow.
Yeah. I was like, "Hey, man, so how would it work?" The idea of CME and its kind of legacy within the market of guitars, and how kind of customer friendly they are and supportive of young musicians and and collectors, and just kind of CME's kind of known for being very supportive of like the whole experience, whether you're into $40,000 guitars or you're into a $400 guitar, or whatever. It's like they want to have people playing guitars, And so I happened to be on vacation with Andrew and ran it by him, and he was like, "Yeah, there's got to be a way for us to figure this out." And so it kind of started taking shape, and then basically I went and played the guitars, and was like, "Wow, there's some really cool stuff here." So then that got me stoked about it, and then we just happened to be playing Wrigley Field. We're playing Wrigley Field tonight, so it was like, well, let's come over here, tell the story, talk about the guitars, have fun, hang out, play stuff.
Right on.
So we have the Southern Rock tribute guitar, Gibson Custom Shop, signed by the guy who put this whole thing together. We have Dickie Betts, Charlie Daniels, Gary Rosington, Ricky Medlock, and Jimmy Hall. So I'm from Middle Georgia, near Macon, Georgia, which is kind of where a lot of Southern Rock came from. So, where Capitol Records was, and a lot of these guys kind of ran the roads where I grew up. So, as a kid, listening to the Allman Brothers, Skinner, Wet Willie, all that stuff was just like what you did. I'm going to say that a lot of times I think that guitars that are tribute guitars like this, they do a lot of work into making sure everybody gets them signed and whatnot, and sometimes they can skip over like the sound of the guitar. That is not the case with this guitar. This guitar is one of the best sounding Les Pauls, custom chopped, kind of non-vintage guitars that I played in quite a while. As far as I'm concerned, this guitar really has basically everything that you want out of a Les Paul, plus it has a bunch of cool signatures on the back of it of all of these rock and roll legends. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't say a bad thing about it, really. I mean, if I were you, I would get it. Yeah. Cool. Stevie Ray Vaughan Custom Shop. I mean, it's basically a exact replica of Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar. I mean, it looks just like the real thing, basically. But the most important thing is, does it do the Stevie Ray Vaughan thing, right? I mean, you know, we got a Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar. So, I mean, does it do the, where you know, the paintbrush hand, we're over here doing this, so.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It looks really cool. It weighs good. The neck feels good. It plays well. I think you should get it. Out of the collection, I think this is probably the sleeper of the whole collection, in my opinion. It's kind of between that Southern Rock guitar or this guitar. I like this guitar, and I'm not a super huge Strat guy, mainly because I wouldn't feel bad if I took it out on the road and it got a little scratched up or patinaed or something like that. Whereas if my belly rubbed off Dickie Betts' name on the back of that Southern Rock guitar, I would forever feel bad about it. It sounds really cool. It plays really cool. It looks cool. The copper look is not overly attention grabbing in real life. So it's not like you take it out and people are like, oh, this guy's got a midlife crisis coming up. You know, like this isn't a 90s Corvette guitar, you know. I love Corvettes, by the way. No offense to anybody who likes 90s Corvettes, but this isn't like a check me out guitar, really. It's not a not check me out guitar, but it's just not like showing your insecurities. I used to play Ophelia with my band back in the day, so I'm gonna do my best rendition for you of Ophelia. Let's see. Boards on the window, mail by the door. What would anybody leave so quickly for but Ophelia? Baby, come back home. The old neighborhood just ain't the same. Everybody wants to know what has became of Ophelia. Baby, come back home. So, consensus, this is a guitar I think you should get. So Derek Trucks is one of my heroes. I've had the pleasure of getting to play with him. Great guy, one of the best guitar players to ever live, if not the best slide player to ever live. So this is his signature model. I love the idea that it has the stop tailpiece, but then has the cool kind of what would be the remains of a tremolo, but you don't have the tremolo to deal with, because once you add tremolo to SG, some of the sustain significantly drop. So you have the awesome ability of the Tune-O-Matic bridge with a stop tailpiece for the sustain for the guitar. The neck on this thing feels really cool. It's kind of, I guess, D-shape, a little flat in the middle, but still chunky. This wide nut kind of shape, so it's not super skinny. And then, can it do the Derek Trucks lead thing? Yes, it can. Check. I mean, I just can't speak highly enough about SGs. They feel great. This one's killer, great neck, pickup sound killer. It's got Derek Trucks vibe all over it. I'm gonna say I think you should get it. Cool nut up at the top. It's kind of like more modern metal nut. The neck feels really good. But this guitar weighs about the same as a roll of toilet paper. I mean, I'm gonna go with 5-6 pounds maybe. It's probably the lightest guitar I've ever had in my hands. This thing is super light, but actually really resonant. What up? They're here. What's up, dude? Come and play this thing, dude. Feel this guitar. It's the lightest telly I've ever played in my life.
Whoa.
It's like 4 pounds.
Wow. Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah, isn't it? All of these cases are from the collection, though.
Too. Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's a bunch more.
To find homes for these things, and for people who really appreciate them, they know what they are, hopefully they'll get played. That's one terrific benefit. But then the benefit that we get from having them here and having them sold benefits, I don't know, countless number of kids, like hundreds, thousands of kids.
You're at a school and you see a kid open up their instrument for the first time, and just the feeling that they have when they open up that instrument, and just the shock that you see in their face absolutely just fills your heart. I mean, it just pulls on the heartstrings for sure.
This guy couldn't have found a better place, I think, to donate the collection. We couldn't have found a better place to come than Chicago Music Exchange to exhibit the collection, and that couldn't have happened without you. We owe a huge credit of gratitude to you, Coy, and we're talking thousands of kids are going to benefit from this. So it's a game changer for us, and we're just uber excited to be here and to be doing this.
But I like the business model of it. To me, is so cool in the sense that I could totally see this being a way for people who have collections of guitars to donate their collection to you guys. The relationship with CME being so validated, of being able to tell the value of the guitars and work the whole deal out. It's a kind of a win-win for everybody.
Amen.
A collector wins by donating the collection to you guys.
Because we are a 501c3, so they get that tax write-off.
Yeah.
So they'll get their value.
Yeah, and then you guys are able to sell the guitars through CME. CME wins by being connected to you guys. You guys win by being connected to CME. People get awesome guitars for collections, and then a lot of kids get really cool stuff. So
Right. But there's more that we owe you. I don't know how we'll ever pay you back.
Oh, dude, that's because we're buds. Yeah.
Love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too, dude.